Did you know that positive thinking is linked to better physical and mental well being? In this video, I'm going to talk about what positive thinking is and how having a positive mindset can actually benefit your health. Hi, welcome and thank you for tuning in. My name is Daniela Moore and I'm a licensed professional counselor. We all have conversations with ourselves all day long. Sometimes we are aware of it, sometimes we're not. This is what we call self talk, and much of it is automatic. Some of our self talk is logical and realistic, and some of it comes from assumptions and misconceptions that we make with little to no evidence. There are so many situations that can be impacted by the quality and style of our thoughts. You don't have to have a diagnosis of a mental disorder for you to experience fears and negative thoughts that can get in the way of you living to your full potential or do the things you want or need to do in life. I want to clarify something here. Positive thoughts are not good or happy thoughts, and negative thoughts are not bad or unhappy thoughts. Think of negative and positive simply as opposites. Consider a thermometer, for instance. On one side, we have the positive temperatures, and on the other side, we have the negative temperatures. They're neither bad nor good, despite our preferences. These temperatures impact us differently, that's all. Our thinking style can be viewed in a very similar way. Two sides of a spectrum, with each side with their own characteristics. On one side, we have the negative thoughts. These tend to have the characteristic of discouragement. They can be unhelpful at times, and in extreme forms, they can be detrimental and disruptive. And oftentimes, they're also hopeless and unrealistic. So, examples of thoughts that are negative might be I can't do this. I'll never be successful. Never is a very extreme word. So is always. This won't work out, even when I don't have enough evidence to conclude this. Or I won't say anything because people will think I'm stupid. This is what we call mind reading. We cannot possibly know what someone is thinking unless they share it with us. Another one, I can't do anything right. There's the never again. Or I'm always messing up. Nobody loves or cares about me. Nobody's also an extreme word. So is everybody. I'm sure if we pause to think for a little bit, we will find one person at least that loves and cares about us. Other examples, nothing will get better, life sucks, etc. Can you see how discouraging and hopeless these sound? Would you say that these types of thoughts are helpful or unhelpful? You will learn more about specific styles of thinking later. So make sure to subscribe to my channel to continue to learn skills to help you improve yourself and your life. And while you're at it, please like this video. Okay, on the other side of the spectrum, we have the positive thoughts. These have the characteristics of being realistic and encouraging. Here are some examples of these types of thoughts. I got this. Even when I don't know all the details, I trust that I will figure it out or I will find help along the way. Or with effort, commitment, and dedication, I know I can succeed. Or I do many things right, and there are many things I have difficulty with. After all, I can't be good at everything. Or I have people in my life that love and care about me. Or another one, life sucks sometimes, but there are parts of it that don't. Or I know this is difficult and I don't like the way I feel, but I know this too shall pass. Do you see the difference? These are rooted in reality. They're more encouraging and more hopeful. Much more helpful too, right? There is no such thing as right or wrong when it comes to our style of thinking. It's simply either helpful or unhelpful. Have you heard the sentence, you create your own reality? This illustrates the power of our thoughts because they influence directly how we feel and what we do. If you think anxious, sad, hopeless thoughts, then you will experience sad, anxious, hopeless feelings. And your actions will align with whatever it is that you feel. We can work on developing a more positive mindset overall and experience a healthier, happier, and more fulfilling life. Positive thinking is not about lying to ourselves. Positive thinking is rooted in reality. It doesn't mean that you're ignoring logic or the unpleasant experiences that you have in life. And it also doesn't mean that you're making light of a problem or forcing yourself to experience only positive emotions. Toxic positivity is positivity without reality, and it rarely works. Life is filled with challenges. That's fact. Having unrealistic expectations can lead to disappointment. An inability to accept challenging, difficult emotions or experiences can have a detrimental impact on your mental health. Positive thinking means that you approach your experiences in a more hopeful, productive, and encouraging way. It means that you think more realistically, you have a positive attitude, and you expect that things will turn out okay. You're able to look at a bigger picture and acknowledge multiple aspects of a situation, not just the bad outcomes. And if you're a positive thinker, when you are going through a stressful event, which we all do, you usually walk away with a higher sense of meaningfulness of life. People with an optimistic mindset tend to give themselves credit when good things happen, and they don't blame themselves unfairly for bad outcomes. They can take accountability and don't dwell on things outside of their control. Optimistic people tend to see unpleasant events as temporary rather than permanent. On the contrary, pessimistic individuals tend to blame themselves unfairly when bad things happen and fail to give them credit for their achievements and successes. They typically view events as expected and permanent, the waiting for the other shoe to drop type of mentality. These types of negative thinking patterns, like blaming yourself for things outside of your control, or viewing these negative, challenging life events as permanent, can have a detrimental impact on your mental state. If you experience an abundance of negative thoughts, your outlook on life, your perception of yourself and your abilities, your experiences, and your perception of others will probably be negative and more pessimistic. But if you practice challenging these negative thoughts and you experience more positive ones, then you probably have a more realistic and optimistic outlook on life. You make the most of your difficult experiences. You see the best in others, and you see yourself and your abilities in a positive light. If you tend to have a more negative, pessimistic mindset, you can change your behavior and develop a more hopeful, positive, realistic mindset. But this is not about eliminating negative self talk or negative thoughts. We all engage with them at times. And in certain situations, negative thinking can actually lead to more accurate decision outcomes. But research does show that realistic optimism is more ideal overall. So negative thoughts are not all bad. This is about limiting engagement with them and improving the quality of your mindset so you can improve your health, overall well being, and satisfaction in life. But how exactly does positive thinking have such a powerful impact on our physical and mental health? Several studies have looked at the role of optimism and positive thinking in mental and physical well being. Here's a list of these benefits: longer lifespan, lower rates of depression and anxiety, more tolerance to distress and pain, lower blood pressure, greater resistance to illnesses, better psychological and physical well being, better cardiovascular health, reduced risk of death from cardiovascular disease, stroke, cancer, respiratory disease, and infections, more creativity, better stress management, greater problem solving skills, better coping skills during hardships, better mood, better self esteem, greater ability to adapt to change, and greater feelings of happiness and satisfaction with life. There's so much to gain by being more positive. It's not really clear which comes first, the positive mindset or these benefits. Research does suggest that having a positive outlook enables you to cope better with stressful events, which reduces the harmful effects of stress on your body. Something else we see with optimistic people, positive people, is that they tend to engage in healthier lifestyles. They get more physical activity, have healthier eating habits, and don't smoke or drink alcohol excessively. It is very clear that the quality of our thoughts impact our well being directly. Your thoughts are that powerful. It is important to learn to challenge our negative thoughts with positive versions. This is a skill that can be learned, and it will help you improve the quality of your life, mentally and physically. Start by paying attention to the types of thoughts you have each day and make a conscious effort to rewrite them with positive versions. How do you talk to yourself? This can influence your perception. In my next video, I will teach you some of the specific styles of negative thinking patterns so you can start working on identifying and challenging them when you notice yourself experiencing them. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to be alerted when I post it. Change is possible, and it starts with awareness and insight. Gratitude is also a good way to promote the growth and development of positive thinking. And there are tons of other benefits from it too. Make sure to check out my video on gratitude to learn how to practice it. I'll leave the link in the description below. Now I want to hear from you. What did you think about this video? Are you aware of your negative self-talk? How does thinking negatively get in the way of you living to your full potential or do the things you want or need to do in life? And if you practice positive self-talk, what benefits do you get from it? Let me know in the comments. Here's a quote to wrap up today's video. Your unhappiness ultimately arises not from the circumstances of your life, but from the conditions of your mind. Thank you for watching. Take pride in your well-being and continue to evolve more. I'll see you next time.